Oh, hello, hello, everybody. How are you all doing today? I am doing absolutely great. I had a nice day off yesterday, as you can easily tell. Um, Went to a nice, elegant restaurant called Red Lobster. Yeah. So either way, how art thou doing today? I'm doing just fine right now. I hope you guys are having a nice Monday. Uh, it is indeed Monday. That also means that indeed I do have the readings to do. We finished up the last one, so now we're gonna get started on the new one. Breach the Archangel job. Pretty sure. Let me see who writes this one. Okay, nuts. Breach Archangel job. Okay, by Michael Maxwell and Ben Luigi. Oh man, I think it's a really good read. Oops, sorry. As I was saying, I think it's a very good read, and nuts. I don't remember when this game came out. Okay, November 14th, 2019. Hey, I don't want to get it wrong. That'd be an insult. Okay, so I guess let me explain what the hell because this one's a little different from like everything else. Uh, well, the last two, the last one was also a little different. So let me take a swig of water. Um, in choice of games, uh, it's typically kind of like a skill balancing act because usually you have to get your skills up in order for stuff to happen. To pass and like have positive impact. Sorry, on the story, and usually there's always more than one option for getting around this. So you kind of have to read into the, I guess, dialogue. What you call it? Dialogue clues and all that sort of shindig. So the breach is a little different in that they also operate on a Dungeons and Dragons type of deal system where you have skills that are certified hits, but there's also a 20 dice that can land a completely random number and everything. There's nothing like a critical fail, I think, but it's all just kind of like that. They also have the option to turn that off and just make it straight stats, but I may or may not enjoy my dance with Lady Luck every once in a while. Either way, how about. I'm so sorry. I was up until like 2:30 or something. I ended up getting entranced by watching a show called Invinci- Invincible. I think, yeah, Invincible. It's pretty good. Right now, it's the last episode of this season airs on Friday, so I'm excited to see the conclusion of the first season. And I know because it's based on a comic, and I know the guy who made the comic uh, is looking to do 7 seasons, I think. So I'm cool with it. I enjoy it very very much. So I can dig it, man. All right, that's enough about me. We're gonna set the difficulty to nuts. How about let's do hard? No, normal. Hmm. Anyone out there? You want to lend a hand? There's very easy, which we're not gonna do because that's way too damn easy. There's regular, easy, normal, hard, and very hard. Uh, God. Let me toss a coin up in the air. If it goes heads, then we'll go higher. If it's tails, then we'll stay at the same, level. Oh, nuts. What did I say? Heads was higher, tails was lower, or the same. So I landed on tails. So I guess we're gonna play it at normal difficulty. All right, then that's good enough. I suppose. Okay, let us play through the new game plus. Yes, of course I've already beat the game, and this game does have new game plus, so you have more skill points to spend and everything. Or I think it's money. I think it's like they give you more advanced stats or more stats at the beginning, and also they give you like 300,000. Yeah, yeah, money is a thing in this, and you kind of use it to buy different equipments like a juggernaut suit or stuff. All right, let's jump into it. You're probably tired of listening to me gab on and on. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, new game plus means you unlock new prologue, new epilogue, +3 luck. Go. Yeah, I'm starting. Starting skill boosts, +3 luck for your new life. 300,000 starting. And there's cheat codes, but I ain't doing that this time. Alright, this following story takes place in a fictional alternate universe. Any characters, events, or brand that resemble anyone alive or dead, or any real life events or brands are either written in a parodic manner or purely coincidental. Most likely coincidental. Prologue. Prologue. Just as every cop is a criminal, all the sinner saints. Wait, no, shoot. Ah! God. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Just as every cop is a criminal and all the sinner saints. Isn't that a song? As every cop is a criminal, all the sinner saints. Pleased to meet you. Just forget my name. Do, do. As a criminal. Hope you get my game. Shoot. Yeah, Rolling Stone, Sympathy for the Devil. There we go. 3 days ago. The night is dark, silent, and cold inside the small warehouse. Lights are out, and the air is still. Quiet hiss penetrates through from the far side of the warehouse, originating from behind a steel door. The stainless steel knob slowly grows bright red before turning orange as the hissing sounds grow louder and louder. The entire locking mechanism slowly melts hard as the metal door is gingerly pried open, making as little noise as possible. The creaking of molten metal being bent replaces the hissing as the door slowly cracks open, with the prongs of a crowbar poking out from the other side, leveraging against the doorframe to slowly but surely push the door open. With a slight heave, the door swings open and the innards of the locking mechanism fall apart. Molten bolts and screws fall into the floor as the door opens, revealing three dark, shadowy figures standing ominously in the cold night outside the rear entrance of the warehouse. The three figures enter, the dim green light shining through their night vision goggles as they scan the inside of the warehouse. Wooden crate after wooden crate stacked up on one another litter the shelves as the three figures carefully enter slowly, quietly, closing the door behind them. Each of them holding their own firearm. One of them with an FN FNC rifle, another holding a M80 870 shotgun, and the last carrying a UMP 45 submachine gun. All three of them are wearing body armor atop what appears to be black three-piece suits and blue ties, along with black gloves and ski masks with their night vision goggles over them. Hunched low as they scan the area, as quiet and professional as can be. Or the one with the submachine gun finally says, I can't see shit with these things. The three of them take off their night vision goggles and take a look around the warehouse with their own eyes through the ski mask. Told you we didn't need them, the man with the rifle says in a hushed voice. Next time we'll rob a surplus warehouse. I'm leaving the goggles behind. The man with the submachine gun says as he walks over to one of the crates and inspects the outside of it. He uses the crowbar. He forces the door open with to gingerly pry the crate open as quietly as possible. The man with the rifle looks around at the other crates and says, Raquel, watch her back. Raquel, the one with the shotgun, nods before walking past them and continuing to check the surrounding area inside the warehouse, confirming that they're the only occupants. This is too easy, the man with the submachine gun says as he gently opens the crates, then slowly lifts the top and takes a look inside. These four guards outside were way too nonchalant, the man with the rifle says before looking over at Raquel and signaling an order. They signal back before continuing to look around the warehouse, shifting priority from finding other occupants to checking the crates. Hey, Gabriel, are we hunting chocolate bars? The man with the submachine gun asks. No. Why? Gabriel, the man with the rifle, says as he pries open his crate, revealing a pile of chocolate bars filled to the brim with the crate. Oh. Yeah. The man with the submachine gun grabs one of the chocolate bars, rips open the package, and takes a bite. Gabriel turns around and stares at him. Michael, we're on mission. And I'm hungry. Shut up, Michael says through a mouthful of chocolate and caramel. Raquel opens other crates and finds an assortment of sweet candy goods and baking material. They continue to look around the place as Gabriel sighs in annoyance at the sight of all the chocolate bars, bags of flour, and bottles of vanilla syrup. Michael continues munching on the chocolate bars as he goes through the other crates, only to reveal more candied goods of varying brands, packs of flour, bottles of olive oil, maple syrup, vanilla syrup, and much more. I swear it's like they're laughing at us, Gabriel says with a disappointed sigh. At least we'll be well fed, he shrugs. This place is too well kept a secret to just be a pantry, Michael says. Where the hell are they hiding them? Gabriel mutters to himself as he rummages through the crates, and suddenly his gloved finger touches a hard metal surface halfway through the center of the crate. Mike, try reaching through a few chocolate bars. Michael turns to Gabriel suspiciously, then shrugs before putting his hand through the chocolate bars, stopping halfway when it touches a metal sheet. Oh hey, what do you look at that? Raquel, check the middle of the crates, Gabriel says as Raquel quickly pulls out bags of flour and throws them out of the crate to get halfway down, revealing a large metal panel covering the bottom half of it. Is this it? Michael asks as he slowly lifts the metal panel, looking over to Raquel, who gives him a nod. Gabriel also lifts his metal panel, revealing condensed transparent metal plastic bags beneath them, filled with white powder. Yep, this is it, he says as he reaches into one of the many pouches on his vest and pulls out an incendiary grenade made to burn hot enough to melt through steel. Michael also pulls out his own incendiary grenade and holds it at the ready as he lifts the metal panel, revealing a rack of AR-15 and AK-47 assault rifles neatly packed with their ammunition hidden beneath a pile of chocolate bars. Raquel lifts the crate to find another pile of plastic bags filled with white powder, pills, and other types of most likely illegal medication. Incendiary grenade in hand and ready to be thrown in. Or, all right, we'll burn as much as we can with the grenades we have and make a run for the car, Michael says. All right, you're driving, Gabriel adds. The three of them pause and freeze in place, clutching their grenades in one hand and holding the steel panel up on the other as they stand there in silence. No, you're driving, Michael says. I don't even know Chicago that well. It's just a drive to the airport. Then we'll fly back to New York. It's not that hard. Michael shrugs. You're the one with the tickets, Gabriel points out. You're the one with the car keys, Michael counters. Shit. Fine, I'll drive. Gabriel curses in defeat. Let's get this over with. He pulls the pin and drops the incendiary grenade into the crate. Drop him, Michael says as he too pulls the pin and drops his grenade into the crate. Raquel follows suit and drops their grenade into the crates. The three of them pull out more grenades from their pouches, drop them into the other crates, pouring as many grenades as they can into the crates as the first set of grenades begin to ignite and burn through the middle of the crates, incinerating the drugs, weapons, and chocolate bars. Gabriel runs through the lines of crates, making sure all the grenades are igniting, or picking up a bottle of olive oil, opening it, and splashing it all over the place. Raquel follows his lead and begins pouring vegetable oil all over the other crates, which hadn't received an incendiary grenade. Michael finishes his last grenade before saying, "We're done. Here, let's go." He holds his submachine gun at the ready before rushing off towards the door they came in through. Raquel drops the oil bottle into one of the crates and quickly runs over to the door with Michael. "Not letting these go to waste," Gabriel says. Then he picks up and saves two of the vanilla syrup bottles from the burning crates before rushing towards Michael and Raquel. The crates to his left and right begin to burst, with molten sparks of thermite flying off everywhere, catching fire to the other nearby crates as a small warehouse is slowly set ablaze. Molten gun parts and drugs begin to pour out of the wooden crates as the three of them escape out the back door of the burning warehouse. They run through a parking lot before a crackle of gunfire explodes from their side, the warehouse guards wearing overcoats, hoodies, and jumpers finally having realized their infiltration and now firing their weapons at them. The trio returns fire one by one as they take cover behind cars in the parking lot. "Smoke out!" Gabriel pulls out a smoke grenade and throws it between them and the guards. The smoke grenade explodes as a plume of white smoke begins to blow through the air, blocking the line of sight for the guards as the trio sneaks out to the parking lot. "Peel off!" Michael shouts. They take turns firing their weapons, covering the others' retreat, doing this repeatedly until the three of them escape the parking lot and disappear into the city streets and alleyways, leaving behind a burning warehouse and a confused group of guards. The three saboteurs make their way to an alleyway where they park their getaway car. They quickly hop inside with Gabriel at the wheel. He drives out the alleyway and quickly heads for the airport. "All right, now that that's done, time to go see if our friend's ready for the debut," Gabriel says. When the car comes to a red light, he pulls out his phone and types a few messages. Michael stares at Gabriel for a moment, shaking his head, and then says, "Are you really texting and driving right now?" "Hey, you're the one who wanted me to drive," Gabriel replies, typing away at his smartphone. "Plus, it's a red light." Michael snatches Gabriel's phone away from him, prompting a scowl from his partner. Michael finishes the message for him and says, "Focus on the road." Gabriel chuckles and smirks as he continues to wait out the traffic light. "Told Caden we'll be meeting him soon." "You and Raquel will be meeting him soon. I still have some legal business to attend to," Michael says, sending another message. "Have fun," Gabriel sighs. "You have fun with our newest recruit," Michael chuckles. And then the light turns green as he continues towards the airport. "Let's hope they're worth the trouble." "We're here to guide them, not to use them," Gabriel says. "I made a promise, and I intend to keep it." Raquel leans in and does hand signals to Gabriel, gesturing to Michael, then back towards the burning plume of smoke where the warehouse used to be. Gabriel sighs and nods in understanding. "I know that they'll have time for training. Right now, we need to focus on Don Lavadici." "You really think he knows anything?" Michael asks. "If he does, we'll know. And if not, we'll know." Chapter 1, Part 1. Bullets Wouldn't Care. Listen to the mustn'ts, child. Listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shouldn'ts, the impossibles, the won'ts. Listen to the never haves. Listen close to me. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be. Shel Silverstein. I don't break. Not for me for taking water, but if you guys actually look up Shel Silverstein, he's kind of a grizzly dude, or I should say, was a grizzly dude because he's deceased. I don't know. Just I don't think some of the pictures had him in the most appealing of lights. I mean, he was a great author and everything. I'm not trying to diss him, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, maybe somebody could have gotten a better picture of him or something. Just saying. Ah, okay. July 4th, 2016, 1:09 a.m., New York City. Welcome to a city filled with crime, opportunity, and the best pizza pies. Also known as Manhattan, New York City, New York. Where you're from doesn't really matter. What kind of family you came from, whether rich or poor, orphaned or not, matters not. A bullet wouldn't care who you are. 7 years ago, you were a nobody, barely trying to make a living after graduating from high school. You hadn't even gone to college yet, and you were already dipping your hands into things knew you shouldn't. And here you are now, still nobody, trying to be somebody, still trying to make a living off doing the dirty work that no one else has the guts to do. The shrieking blast of fireworks startles you out of your reverie. Looking away from the car window, you glance around at your three silent companions. They aren't your friends. They barely even know you. Neither do you know them. But they're here for the same purpose as you, to do the same job. First job, big. First big job. Oh no, sorry. Your first big job, you think to yourself. Better not screw it up. Your boss picked the perfect night. Fireworks and gunfire would blend together as one. As people celebrate the nation's independence, you and three others are eyeing the small, ominous convenience store at the gas station right in front of the car you're in, just waiting to be robbed. It's a simple plan. All you need to know is all you need to know when you were called for the job was that it was a quick and simpler can opener, a safe robbery. Though this one was unique. It was way bigger than most normal opener jobs, and the plan includes robbing a convenience store as a front. There were two safes, both loaded with what was said to be dirty money. As you've learned, the store is insured, so the staff shouldn't be a problem. It's the manager you might have to worry about. The big red and white square C shining bright atop on the front door to the gas station, about 100 meters from your car. Eager to get in there, the crew makes small talk and your boss goes through the plan once more while we wait. Plan is simple, needing only four people to work with: a Smiley, a Shoddy, Chains, and a Leadfoot. Smiley, the crowd control, deals with the manager and makes sure none of the workers or customers call the police or make a fuss outside the office. Shoddy, the gunner, helps Smiley control the crowd, being the primary person with a firearm, creating a secure perimeter inside the store. Chains, the engineer, will be doing the real work in the back safe, working on opening the safes. Leadfoot, the driver, will be staying in the car at all times, making sure the crew gets away with their lives and loot. So, out of the four misfits of society that are currently sitting together inside the cold car, huddling together for warmth, which one are you? Crowd control, obviously. I was always good at handling crowds, intimidating or persuasive. Hell, I could have been an actor. But no one in the movie industry wanted a criminal, so here I am. You'd be surprised. About 3 weeks ago, you were told by your best friend and personal informant Mouse that there was an opening for an easy safe cracking job. He went by the name of Caden Joy. He needed someone who knew how to control a crowd and make people do things they wouldn't normally want to. Given your con filled background, you have enough experience to do the job. The plan is simple. Have a card, the one who planned the job, acting as a leadfoot, will drive the team from the hiding spot straight to the front of the store. From there, Shoddy, Smiley, and Chains will enter the store in that order. Shoddy keeps the shotgun aimed and ready at the cashier, making sure he's away from the silent alarm button under the counter, while Chains and Smiley, that's you, reach into the back room with a crowbar, carrying the duffel bag with the circular saw, the mini sledgehammer, and another duffel for the money. Smiley will confront the manager and intimidate or persuade him to open the cage holding the two safes. Then Chains will use a modified saw to easily cut through the safes. When Chains is on the safe, Smiley will go back out to Shoddy at the front and take care of the employees still inside, making sure they don't cause trouble. Once the safe is open, Chains will load the money into the bags, then go out of the car with the rest and drive with the money to the rendezvous point, where the money will be distributed. Sounds like a lot of work for just a convenience store, right? You should have seen their faces when the Picard told them that the total take was about 3,700 each. About a week before the actual robbery, only 2 days after you first met Caden, House called you and told you to meet the team behind an abandoned apartment building. On arrival, three masked robbers were waiting, and they, like you, were all wearing black ski masks. You didn't know who they were, they didn't know who you were, except for Caden, who's probably intended to keep everyone's identity a secret. At the meeting, Caden, under the call sign Picard, introduced you to the team as a Smiley. The plan was explained and preparations were made. Picard did most of the work, stealing a car, repainting it, and changing its license plate number. He helped the team practice the plan in a makeshift replica of the store. Chains modified her circular saw to make it cut through the safes easier, and Shoddy trained with the shotgun. After you were told your role, you prepared for the plan by remembering the lines you would say to either scare or persuade the manager to open the cage. Beside that, you and the whole team except Picard practiced the breach's timing, making faster and faster time with each attempt. While waiting on Chains to practice her sawing, you notice that there are two ways that could go when you need to subdue the staff. You could either put them in the back room with the manager, or keep them in the front on the ground behind the shelves. Ice Night. And so, on the night of the robbery, you were picked up by Picard in the car at the meeting points, wearing a black ski mask just like everyone else. Then he drove the team to the store and parked beside it, inside an alleyway looking into the window. Now you're waiting for the right time, for the cashier to leave his post to close the store. The car is very small, old, and cramped. It's midnight on the 4th of July, so the sounds of fireworks will easily mask the sound of the gunfire. But hopefully, it won't come to that. Uh, all right, I'll go through the plan one more time, Picard says, sitting in front of you in the driver's seat. I'll drive us to the front of the store, you three get out. He looks over at the kid next to him. Jotty, you're the first one in. Keep the cashier away from the alarm under the counter. Then he looks back at you. Smiley, you and Chains go into the back room, handle the manager, and make him open the cage. Turns to the woman next to you. Chains, you'll have to handle those safes and make sure the money's inside the bag. Once the money's out, we get into the car and drive away to the rendezvous point. Everyone good? Everyone nods in agreement. For a few good minutes, the car is in total silence, waiting for closing time until Shoddy says, Hey boss, did you hear about the surplus warehouse robbery? The Archangel crew is back in action. Man, I wish I'd been on it. They must pay. The pay must be huge with all that military equipment. Weren't there fewer than usual? Like only three of them this time, the Picard says. Yeah, there used to be seven of them, right? Wonder where the rest of them went. No clue. Everyone goes quiet again, and after the brief conversation, waiting as the firework coated silence fills the cold interior of the cold car, until Shoddy finally pipes up in the front seat, breaking the peaceful silence once more. What are we waiting for again? You to shut up, the Picard says. Shoddy slinks back into the seat, then shivers as he says, It's damn cold in here. Who turned off the heater? The Picard asks. You turn to the dashboard and realize the heater is off. You immediately lean in and push the button, letting the warmth slowly irradiate the inside of the car as Shoddy gradually stops his shivering. The silence falls once more before Shoddy asks again, No, seriously, what are we waiting for? For the right time, you tell him. When's the right time? He asks. When the store starts to close, the cash. Oh, sorry. When the store starts to close and the cashier leaves the register, boss adds. Listen to the plan for once, he sighs. All right. Shoddy settles back down. All right, I almost forgot it's your birthday. Ricard says as he hands Shoddy a pistol, the FNX-9. Happy birthday. All right. Wow, I thought you'd forgotten. Thanks, Shoddy says. Almost. Have fun with it, kiddo. 12 minutes later. Sorry. So, you're saying that KFK is better than Mike Donald's? Shoddy's young and annoying voice fills the car. No, no, no. I'm saying that KFK's fried chicken is awesome. But McDonald's Royal Cheeseburger would easily win. Picard replies defensively. But you're like comparing apples to pears. One's fried chicken and the other's a quarter-pound burger. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Both are pretty much equally good. The McDonald's Royal with cheese is not only cheap but amazingly delicious. And the KFK's 10-piece pail is both spicy and superbly delicious. Guys, can you please stop getting hungry? Oh, all right. Stay frosty. Your boss finally stops. I'd wager Burger Queen would have a better burger than McDonald's. I mean, if we're going to compare McDonald's to Burger Queen, it's basically like comparing Dairy King to Burger Queen. The Burger Queen's gobbler would easily take the cake, but McDonald's just doesn't have burgers. Doesn't just have burgers, it's like KFK too. There's chicken and everything. A KFK's 10-piece pail would win against McDonald's regular chicken. But McDonald's Royal with cheese would win against KFK's burger anytime. I still don't get it. God, how old are you? Uh, your boss utters as he rolls his eyes. No, I got it messed up. No. 18. It was rhetorical. Shut your mouth or I'll throw you out of this car right now. With that simple threat, the Picard silences your two partners. Snapping into focus, he leans forward on his seat. Something caught his attention. He turned towards the window, looking into the store, to see the cashier in the distance. Hey, boss. I think this is it. You and your partner see the cashier start to move. This is it. Picard revs the engine, which makes everyone snap into focus. He hits the pedal and the car launches towards the gas station. He steers the car right while shifting into second gear and pulls the handbrake, along with hitting the brake pedal as the car careens to a screeching halt in front of the store. Bag some grains for me. Go, Picard shouts. Following his cue, you, Shoddy, and Chains all climb out of the car and start running into the store. From the back of your belt, you pull out the pistol the Picard gave you before the mission, Beretta M9, and follow Shoddy into the store. He immediately points his gun at the pale and scrawny teenager, cashier apron bearing the Square C logo, while shouting at the top of his lungs, Get away from the register, shithead! You and Chains run past him to the back door.
Chains pulls out her crowbar and starts prying the back door open. The door frame cracks and the door opens like a butterfly. Now it's your time to shine, Cupcake. As you breach the back door, you see the manager with his hands on the phone. His face is both dismayed and terrified. Clearly, he wasn't expecting to be held up by some guy in a mask tonight. I calmly point the gun at him and say, "Sir, I need you to lift your hands off the phone and back away from the desk. Nice and easy, just like the way you like it."
Okay, okay, I'm backing off. I'm sorry.
The manager mutters calmly as he lifts his hand off the phone and slowly backs away from the desk. Now I need you to calmly get up and open the cage for me. You say in a smooth and non urgent tone.
Okay, pal. Whatever you need.
That manager says as he slowly rises from his chair, takes a pair of keys from his pocket. He walks over to the metal cage door and inserts one of the keys into it. And there you go. The metal bar opens up, and behind it, inside the cage, two safes. All right, sir? I'm going to have to restrain you. Please get down on the ground. You say as you pull out your zip ties and point your gun at him, waving it down to the floor. Calmly enough, he complies and crawls to the floor as you go around him and strap his hands behind his back. Look back into the cage and see that Change is starting her work already. She pulls her saw from the bag and throws you a cable to attach to one of the electrical outlets. You pick it up and plug it into the outlet and on the wall. Up to the front. Good luck. Either she doesn't hear you, or she starts up her blade, or she's ignoring you. The sound is terrifyingly loud, but not as loud as a regular saw would be, as the blades were modified to be lighter and thinner, yet tougher. You walk out to the back room to find Shoddy still pointing his gun at the cashier. Kid won't tell me where the others are. He might talk to you, Shoddy says as the cashier turns and looks at you terrified. I only ask him where the rest of the employees are with my gun. Pull out your gun, pointing it directly at his face and saying assertively, "Inside this barrel is a 9mm. Inside your skull is the brain. Tell me where the others are, and they can both stay where they are." "I swear to God, I don't know where they went." The teenager shakes his head. "Bullshit, get your ass out of there." Scotty shouts as he reaches across the counter and grabs the cashier by the collar, then drags him up over the counter, thrashing every candy stand and pamphlet on it to the floor. He throws the poor fool onto the marble floor like a rag doll before pointing his shotgun at him and shouting, "Where the hell are the others, lipstick?" But then, from the other side of the store, two people emerge from the storage. Scotty turns and points his shotgun at them. "Stop right there!" Man and woman are startled, freezing on the spot. "All right, so how would you handle the employees again?" Calmly show them my gun from afar. "Calm down. This is a robbery," say as you point your pistol at the two.
Why, yes, we can see that,
The old man says. "We're stealing the franchise's money, not yours. Please get down on the ground." Wave the gun down at the ground. The woman slowly drops to the ground, but the old man next to her stands tall, proud, and stupid.
I'm sorry, but what makes you think you can steal from us?
He boldly says. "Not stealing from any of you, sir. Stealing from the franchise. We'll pay your salary anyway, robbed or not. Now would you please calmly get down on the ground, sir?" "Mr. Matthews, please," the woman says, face down on the ground. After a brief look of anger, it washes away and the senior citizen finally kneels, crawls to the ground next to the woman. But then Charlie starts to walk away from the glass doors. Guys, Donut Patrol's here." Uh-oh. This wasn't part of the plan. Think. Okay, let's just get things straight in here. There are cops right outside. You don't know how many there are, and you don't know if they know any of the employees here. You don't know if they're regulars here. They might just be stopping here for the first time. Use your logic and think for a while. Not joking. If you make the wrong move here, it could mean the difference between life and death. Your mind rushes, your heart starts to beat faster, You can feel nearly everything in your body ready to move. As the adrenaline flows through you, it feels as if time is slowing down. And think faster. You can assess your choices faster. You can feel as if the world has slowed down just for you. For a moment, it feels as if you're reading an interactive novel where you're given choices and forced to weigh the consequences of those choices.
Been a while since I played, but I admit I have forgotten the fourth wall break right there. Sorry, nose a little plugged. Cold weather. I'll be fine. Put the cashiers in the back room with Shoddy. Take off my mask and pretend to be the cashier. Shoddy, drag them all to the back. Tell Chains to stop cutting. Whisper loudly to him. He turned to the cashier. You, give me your apron. Shoddy herds the two employees into the back room at gunpoint. Cashier takes off his apron and gives it to him, then follows them. Quickly try to clean up any mess by the cash register. Hide behind the counter. Immediately put on the apron and take off your mask. Ding! The bell rings as two cops enter the store. I told you to dump him. That guy's trouble. The female cop says to her partner as she walks down the aisle.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me twice. It's not like he's weighing me down or anything.
Replies the male cop. Makes his way to you. Time to put on a smile. Good evening. Welcome to Square C. Welcome to two officers with a bored yet professional tone.
Yeah, you got any donuts?
The officer asks. You have no clue where they are. Look over the counter, around the front, realize this place doesn't really sell donuts. So you answer, I'm sorry, it appears that we're all out of donuts.
Damn. Got any coffee?
Officer asks. Don't have a clue where that is either. Look around the store and see a coffee machine on the back wall. So you answer, yeah, we got a coffee dispenser over there.
All right. Be right back.
Finally, some breathing room. I'll go get it, Clark. Get me some mints. Never mind.
All right. Thanks, Barb.
The guy is just standing there in front of you. His eyes squint as he looks around the counter. Grabs a few chocolate bars and a bag of mints from the candy stand and drops them in front of you.
Gonna scan them or what?
Oh, right. Sorry. Grab the candy bars and scan them with the bag of mints. The number pops up. 634. That'll be $6.34.
Whoa, slow down there, Tiger. We're waiting for the coffee.
Officer says. His partner comes. Sorry. Partner comes walking around the aisle with a cup of black coffee in each hand. Don't know how much they cost here, but you guess they're around $2. He puts the two coffees on the counter and says, "Two black. That'll be 450 634."
Whoa, $2.25 for a cup of coffee? This ain't beanstalk coffee.
Male officer complains. Ah, sorry, officers. Hope they don't suspect anything. I could have sworn I bought the same here for $1.50. Female officer says to his partner as she throws down a 10 and a 5. Hey, where's Sam, the regular cashier? Oh shit, make up something. Oh yeah, he quit. He got a job at some bakery down the street. Cross your fingers. The female cop just stares at you curiously. Her partner seemingly catches the drift of what's going on. Oh crap.
I thought Sam just started working here a week ago. Just give me $4 change.
Shit, this isn't a regular cash register. One of those electronic ones, and you don't know how to open it. They don't know you don't know how to open it. Look at the officers, and you can see her hand slowly reaching for her gun. Keep bluffing. Oh, you mean that Sam? Yeah, we had two Sams working here before one quit. At least that's what they told me. He's actually in the back right now. I'm just covering for him. Hope they bought that. I'm also new here, so I don't know much about what's going on, let alone how to work a cash register. Just the janitor, actually, just started working. I'll go get Sam. He knows how to work the cash register. Thankfully, the two officers seem calmer than before. Walk away from the counter to the back room door. Sam, go in there. We got customers, man. I hope the cashier is the person they were talking about. The door opens and the young, scrawny cashier emerges and looks past you, leaning his head out of the doorway. Oh, hey, Sergeant Barbara, he says to the cop. I'll go and settle my inventory in the closet, you say, making way to the other side of the store. Look back at the cashier to make sure he doesn't try anything funny. Thankfully, he doesn't. You put your mask on again before walking over the cashier and saying, good job. Shoot, I skipped over a line. Two cops leave and everything is cool. Put your mask on again before walking over the cashier and saying, good job, kid. Then you run to the back room door and knock. Guys, they're gone. The rest of the employees, along with Shoddy, walk out of the back room. Haynes also comes out with a loaded duffel bag and a handheld saw. The three of you walk out the store. No cops in sight. Shoddy hides his shotgun beneath his jacket and gets into the front passenger seat. Both you and Chains get into the back seat. The car looks around at you, Chains and Shoddy, before saying, How the how the hell did you three manage to keep your heads intact? Uh, Mostly luck. Hey, Smiley. Did good, kid. Did good. I'm glad Mouse picked the right ones for my crew. Oh, you did good today. Now let's get to the rendezvous point and split the cake. Picard says as he drives the car away from the gas station and to the rendezvous point. Wow, you made it. Actually survived your first big job. The car arrives at the rendezvous point, an abandoned parking lot. Its engine dies as it comes to a stop in the middle of the lot. Picard and Shoddy climb out first, then you and Chains. The boss puts the bag of money on the car trunk and says, all right, four-way split, 4,500 each. Sound good? I'll take anything that can buy me 4 pizzas and a Coke, Shoddy says. You can buy more than that. 8 pizzas and 3 Cokes? Everybody chuckles as Picard divides the dollar bills between the 3 duffel bags. Picard throws the duffel bag on the ground in front of you and says, have fun, kid. I'll put in a good word for you. Better mark, maybe. Both Shoddy and Chains grab their bags and walk away. I don't know what you're gonna do with the money, but have fun. Oh, and tell Giff I said thank you. Keep the gun. A gift from me. He says as he pulls a couple of gasoline cans out of the trunk. He turns to you and says, go on now, I need to take care of the car. He waves you away as he starts pouring the gasoline all over the car. Congrats, that's 4,500 in the bag, excluding Mouse's cut, which is 10%. Got a whole $4,050 for yourself. Pick up the money bag and walk out of the parking lot, making your way to the apartment. On the streets of Manhattan, you stroll along the sidewalk in the middle of the night with the duffel bag filled with money in your hand and your Beretta M9 tucked beneath your jacket. You have survived your first big job, your first reputable story to tell. Soon you'll have something bigger to handle. On your way home, the cool breeze of July, coated with the aroma of fireworks from all over the city, touches your skin, nose as you walk to your safe house, which is right down the street. An apartment that you frequently use to sleep and keep things you can't sell. And like any good criminal, it's where you keep all your money. As you walk home, you start to think about your life. You just committed a crime, and you were okay with it. Hell, for all I know, you could be proud of it. And if you aren't, don't worry, you must have a good reason for doing such a thing. You're not new to this. You've been doing it for months now. You started out small just a few months ago. Liquor stores, pharmacies, small time shops. With your natural charm, you managed to intimidate, persuaded, and charm your way up to the criminal food chain. Most criminals work together on more sizable jobs, and you didn't start doing these jobs all alone. There was this one person who immediately jumped on board when you first mentioned you needed help. The very person who managed to get you a spot on the small crew of this very job. The person whom you've been with from the start of all of this. Your best friend. First partner in crime who you know by the name of Mouse. Who is this Mouse? Her name is Ava. Or shoot. I'm not going for that one. Oh, let's just make things easier on myself. His name is Edwin. Edwin N. Uh, how the say that? Carmichael? Carmichael? My best friend from high school. Ah, yes, Ed. He's been your best friend ever since you went to high school with him. Not only is he a master on a computer, he's also an amazing intel gatherer. Ugh. He would go as far as to enter the place that the two of you were casing, try to read the layout and surroundings, and he'd actually memorize every little detail and flaw in their system. How you met him is a funny story, actually. No, you weren't in the same class together. In fact, he enrolled a full year after you did, as an exchange student from England. No, you weren't some hero who helped him with a bully or something like that. In fact, he saved you. Now, let's not get into the details of how he managed to save you from humiliation. That's a story for another chapter. Plus, he's 2 years younger than you. And we wouldn't want to further that he humiliate you, would we? No matter the job, Mouse would always be there to help you on your crusade to make the money, which you keep in the safe house. Speaking of which, safe house. As you walk your way to the safe house, you get this eerie feeling you can't seem to shake. Glance down the familiar street and see the apartment. Your safe house. Loud aside as you arrive at the apartment building's front door. Look to the right of the door. Glance at the list of names and buzz number 205. This is unusual, but you feel but you feel glad to be back home. Your messy and cluttered safe house. And also unusual, you feel a sudden relief as you grip the duffel bag. I mean that you made a lot of money today. And this is just a small piece of the true criminal's life. Zzz. The bell buzzes, but with no response, you try again. Zzz. Wonder whether or not Mouse is back yet. I'm supposed to meet you back at the safe house, like the two of you usually do after a job. Wonder where he could be at this late at night. Who's there? Oh, shit. That's right, I chose the dude, not the. Ah! Sorry. Who's there? Oh, never mind. There he is. Knock on the intercom in the melody of shaving a haircut. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know what shaving a haircut is. Apparently, my old man knows, and some other people I talked to also know it, but I have no clue what shaving a haircut was before this, and I still have not listened to the song. Yeah. Hi, welcome home, boss. This is in his quick-witted 23-year-old British accent. Zzz. Door opens. You walk inside and up the stairs to your room. 205. Knock on your door, and after a few seconds, it opens, and there he is, opening the door for you. Edwin the Mouse. Wow, that looks heavy, he says, referring to the duffel bag in your hands. He walks back inside and throws himself on the couch. You walk in, closing the door behind you. I buzzed 3 times. Were you asleep? Ask as you throw the duffel bag onto the living room. Yeah, sorry. Long day at the bakery, he says, head laid upon the armrest of the sofa. Alan came by 2 hours ago and asked if we needed anything. I told him we're good. How long were you waiting? Ask as you unzip the duffel bag. Lo and behold, $4,500. About 3 hours. As soon as he hears the zipper, he jumps up from the couch and looks inside the duffel bag, before smiling with excitement. Wow, how much is our share? Our share. Keep getting my Brit and Australian mixed up. Because I like the Australian one a little more. uh Isn't it, bro? Wow. Whoa, nice. That means my share is $450. Well, I guess it depends on where you come from in Britain. That it might sound close, like when Taron Egerton does the whole thing for Kingsman. How about it? Isn't it, bro? That whole shindig. He drops straight into the duffel bag and grabs a few stacks of $100 bills and sorts them out on the table in front of him. Oh, can I take a few extra? I need to go to some kid tomorrow. Yeah, sure. Take what you need. Thanks. You're awesome. He says, and he jumps up and grabs his backpack, which was leaning against the wall behind the couch. As he sorts out his money, you go into the kitchen to fetch yourself a drink to relieve yourself of the stress of what happened tonight. Open the cupboard and lay your pistol in it, and close it again before opening the fridge and seeing what's inside. A bottle of Procurade, a cold cup of beanstalk cat coffee, a bag of milk, a can of Blue Bull, Mountain Drip, cooled cola, and enough glass bottles of Molson to get you drunk 3 times in a row. There's also a cup of tea that you left there in the morning. Other than the beverages, you have a box of Cheerios in your fridge door. Who the hell puts Cheerios in the goddamn fridge? I don't know. Do people normally put their cereal in the fridge? I do not, so I don't know about this. Okay, other than the beverages, you have a box of Cheerios in the fridge door, next to milk, some vegetables and ground meat, and a couple of eggs still left uncracked. Make a mental note to buy bread. Mouse put the cereal in the fridge? Oh. Take it out and put it in the cupboard. That done, you turn to what you want to go down your throat. Preferably something liquidy and tasty. Might as well finish a cup of tea. Nothing beats a good old cup of tea, even when it's cold. Grab the incredibly cold cup and take a sip. Feel the coldness shock your lips. You end up sipping the entire cup until it's empty. Satisfied with the drink, you put it back in the fridge. Put it back in the fridge. Put it back in the fridge. Ah! These people's habits are. You put it back in the fridge and head back to the living room. As you pass the counter, you see Edwin with his backpack stuffing his part of the take into it. So, what a night, yeah? He says as he closes his backpack and stands up. Thanks for not dying, boss. He says as he walks over to pat you on the shoulder before walking past you to the kitchen. You sit on the sofa and start counting your own share. You look over and see him searching for a drink. He grabs his last cup of coffee, gulping some of it down before grabbing a can of Mountain Drip, dropping it into his backpack. Then he walks out of the kitchen, cup in hand, backpack on his back. Gonna go now. Thanks for the share. No, thank you for the money. You say, counting your money. Good night, he says as he walks out. You finish counting your money. Each stack is $500. The sum total of your money, including the stash that you already have, is $308,900. What a night. And with that settled, you stuff your money back into the duffel bag and throw it into the closet with the rest of your cash. You walk back to your bedroom, face plant yourself into the bed, and let yourself fall into a deep sleep. Deep into the subconsciousness of sleep. You walk to your bedroom. Oh, shoot. You feel your joints cracking, your muscles relaxing, and your heartbeat get louder yet slower. As your eyelids begin to weld themselves shut, the world around you silences and darkens as you fall asleep. It almost feels like heaven, though you hope it isn't. As the sun rises, sleep for 5 hours. Next chapter. Chapter 1, Part 2. The Archangels. Life is like toilet paper. You're either sitting on a stack before going on a roll, or you're getting ripped off and taking shit from some asshole. Inscription of the toilet armor. which unfortunately has not been implemented. I am very disappointed. July 5th, 2016, 9:35 a.m. Comfort is all you feel as your body lies as still as a plank on your bed. You're overwhelmed by sheer exhaustion. Your muscles protest in pain when you try to move them. You're exhausted, so exhausted that for a few seconds after you feel the bed, you forgot what exactly happened yesterday. With your eyes closed, you start to recount what transpired last night. Let's see. Hard picked you up for the robbery of the gas station as planned. You were the smiley. The second the car stopped in front of the store, you jumped out and went straight inside. Got into the back room with chains and managed to open the cage. Then you left the room and started to deal with the staff yourself. Then, cops. Thankfully, you're as quick with your wits as you are with your mouth. You took command with everyone going to the back room, you pretending to be the cashier as the two cops came in to buy a few things. Although they were caught onto your ruse, you were ahead of them, managing to fool them with a last minute improvisation. For that, all of your partners survived, and you got away with $4,500. You stretch your muscles and they start to ache. Your body is basically begging for a bath. With that in mind, you open your eyes to greet the morning sun. The sunshine seeps through the blinds of your shabby apartment, burning your eyes with its blinding light. You shield your eyes as you try to recover some of your energy. Remember that today is Tuesday, and as you recall from last night, your supply of food is depleted. You guess it's time for a trip to the grocery store. You lift your legs and slide them down to the side of the bed as you sit up. Your head begins to throb as you feel a heavy headache slowly coming, then just slip away as you take a breath. The morning is peacefully silent, but this time your neighbor is usually shattering eardrums with his electric guitar. But today he's not. I can only assume that, as he does every Monday and Tuesday, he went out early to practice his art of eardrum torture some elsewhere. Time to get up. You climb out of bed and climb out of bed, slightly disoriented and body feeling heavy, as though your bed were a magnet and you were made out of a heavy lump of iron. You fight the urge to go back to sleep and win. You stand up and walk to your closet, grab a towel, and head straight for the bathroom. You turn the tap and feel the water. Cold. Unfortunately, today the water heater's broken. Like every day. As you walk into the shower of cold water, your skin begins to shrink as your muscles shudder against the cold rain. Then your muscles begin to relax, and you start to feel more and more awake as the cold runs through you. You start the morning ritual: shampoo, soap, and everything else. After that, wrap a towel around yourself and walk out of the shower. With the towel wrapped around you, the mirror reflects your body, which has been, over the years, formed into the build you currently have. Happy or not, you could always keep training to either build up muscle or lose some weight. In the mirror, you see your body. Look, what I'm gonna choose is stuff that's purely for stats. So don't be getting any funny ideas. A perfectly athletic, lean and robust, yet flexible body, because who doesn't love a healthy, lean body? After all that, you get out and dry yourself with a towel. You look into the mirror and contemplate with your contemplating face for a dramatic scene to add more drama. Drama intensifies. Your eyes meet your own gaze as you gaze into the Your eyes meet your own as you gaze into the mirror. They slowly begin to widen as they take a while to reset out of their droopiness from sleeping. You look deep, gazing into your own brown eyes. Gazing into your own brown eyes, you realize you suddenly feel cold. Realize it's because your towel has slipped down. You kneel down and rewrap your towel, then look back at yourself, noticing your hair. It's wet right now, so you pick up a spare towel and begin drying your hair, which is dark brown. Dry your dark brown hair in the style you've adopted for everyday fashion, which is short and straight.
Dry your dark brown, short and straight hair, and set aside the towel, taking a good long look at yourself in the mirror. A face you've known since birth, changed only in size and hair ever since. Wonder if you ever met your parents, or if they hadn't left you as a baby. If your face would surely look like theirs in the mirror, you can only see yourself nude as can be, covered only with a towel. What do you see? A man in his early 20s. You see yourself in the mirror, a new 25-year-old man wearing nothing but a towel. You also see your own face, which has a very unique feature that would be the basis of people's first impression of you. Elegant, defined, and graceful man in his mid 20s. He practiced a smirk, then a charming smile. Staring like a lunatic in the mirror, you guess that people would be more likely to do as you say. Heck, I think people would be all over you as soon as you walked into the nightclub. Speaking of your parents, you never really met them, nor remembered them clearly. As a kid, you grew up in an orphanage and moved from foster home to foster home. Though you did go through kindergarten, elementary, and high school, never had a real family. Life as a kid was harder than those who had parents. Went through elementary school, meeting new people, making new friends, but they never stayed. Moved from school to school as you switched to new foster homes. The only person you're actually close to is Mouse, whom you've been friends with for a whole 8 years, and he's been more of a friend to you than anyone you've ever met. First met Mouse in high school. Back then, you were also introduced to the world of crime, as you viewed it as a future. It didn't matter which side you were on, the law or the other one. But what is it what you do? Never actually killed anyone yet. But why? Why do you do such things? What drives you to do such things? Are you a cop? Are you a criminal? Most importantly, what's your story? To help bring justice where the police can't. To rob people who deserve to be robbed. Some may call me a hero, while others a vigilante. Even in high school, you were always someone your friends could look up to. You're the kind of person who would give your shirt to someone if they had none. Though it would be questionable where you got that shirt from. When your friend had an accident, you raised money by stealing from a fancy liquor store, giving the money you got to them. You rob people that you think deserve it. You stole from the rich and give to the poor. And of course, Mouse was eager to work with you the second you asked him. The night you asked him for help, you told him that you were doing it for a good cause, and he was immediately on board. Though you told him that would be dangerous, he didn't care at all. He wanted to help you, and he did. And so you and Mouse worked together on job after job. Most of the money was given away to your friends when they needed it, and some was given to charity and the homeless. Given your status as a local Robin Hood, Mouse was able to get the contract for the gas station you just pulled. Though that was a very big score, the heat was also very risky. Let's hope you don't get caught. That's who you are. A criminal, as ironic as it is, trying to do the right thing, to help those in need by robbing those who have too much. And that's what you're trying to do. Do your part to society. Be known and respected to make a name for yourself. So, what is your name? Like my own name, please. Of course, the traditional Kits. First name is Kits, is that correct? Absolutely. Very well. Do you need a last name? Nah, no need. All right then, let's continue, shall we? All right, so back to business. You walk out of your room dressed neatly in your khakis and dress shirt because most of the clothes you have are in the laundry and get ready for the next day. Walk into the kitchen and fetch yourself a bowl of cereal. Since you don't have much time and there's not much in the fridge, you consider eating straight from the cereal box, top to top, and crunch down on the Cheerios inside. Box in hand, Cheerios in your mouth, and the other, and you walk to the other side of the kitchen and open up the cabinet.
Inside where you left it yesterday is your pistol. You open up the cabinet underneath it and see the bag of money still inside. You put the box of Cheerios on the table before crouching down to gather some of your money for shopping later on. With $200 in your pocket, you close the cabinet. Look at your pistol. You bring it with you? No. That doesn't sound very smart.
We're only going to get groceries. Totally, right?
Yeah. You decide not to, so you close all the cabinets before picking up the box of Cheerios and putting it in the cupboard. You walk out of the kitchen, grab your leather jacket from the couch, and put it on before walking out of the living room and leaving your apartment. You walk downstairs and out to the front door. You head down the street to where you always go when you need groceries, Al's convenience store, which is conveniently located only around 2 blocks away. On your way, you see a car parked on the side of the street. It's a 1969 Ford Stallion. Let me look that up out of curiosity. Stallion. It's a goddamn car from It looks like the car from what's the movie with Chevy Chase? Lampoon's Vacation. Holiday Road. Holiday Road. Something something dun 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 dun. Dun. All right. You start to think you don't have a car and this car looks damn beautiful. Whoever owns this must either be rich or a local mobster. But the thing looks eh, whatever. It looks like a magnet for chicks and a shredder for gas money. The store is just around the block, but this thing is too good to pass up. If you have the skills, why not? Should you? Well, no. Whoever owns this car means some serious business. And like they're trying to get from what is it, goddamn New York to California to go see Wally World. All right, you're lost. You can't find it in yourself to get into that kind of trouble, so you keep walking. About 100 painful steps later. It's just 100 steps, Jesus. You finally arrive in front of the store. There's a man in a hoodie sitting alone on the bus station in front of the store, casually lighting up a cigarette. You can see that the bus stop sign has been vandalized by someone adding a T to it so that it reads bus station, with the spray can drawing a bra beside it. Al's groceries. You enter the store as usual. You're greeted by the cashier, Alan, an Indian American who lives in the apartment building right next to yours. You've been a regular here ever since you set up your safe house. Good morning, Mr. Shit. Uh, Good morning, Mr. Kitts, he says. Morning, Al. Walk down the aisle and after picking up a basket, browse through the shelves looking for the things you should buy. You pick up a loaf of bread before going to the refrigerated section and grabbing a bottle of water and a stick of butter. Walk up to the counter and lay the basket in front of Al as he gives you a smile. He plunges his hands into the basket and pulls out the things he just bought. Then then scans them. Item after item, he maintains his smile. I always wonder how he can be so happy looking every time you come here. Considering the fact he's been robbed 5 times within the last 3 months, I wonder if he's actually losing it. But then again, this is Alan Badhani we're talking about. After the first couple robberies he had, he bought the shotgun that's currently underneath the counter. Since then, 2 robbers have died in this store. Low-life thugs around here know not to mess around with this store. Word on the street is Al's got connections. But as always, some people just never learn. Ding! Doors behind you open. Don't turn around, this is a robbery! A man shouts at you. This is a robbery! Ah, shit. Fuck that one. Yes, I can see that, Al says nonchalantly. Poor guy chose the wrong store. You can hear a gun click from behind you. You resist the urge to look around, knowing he probably has a gun pointed directly to your head. You look at Al, he doesn't seem too scared. In fact, he's rather nonchalant about the whole situation. All the money in the register, now! The guy's smart enough to know that the register can only be opened upon a purchase, and he timed it perfectly, just as you were buying your groceries. Al opens up the cash register and pulls out all of the money inside, starting with the quarters. Then he drops some of the quarters and says, "Whoops." That was intentional. He goes beneath the counter to grab the fallen coins, and the guy behind you lurches forward, putting his gun past the side of your head as he tries to see what Al is doing underneath the counter. Hey, what you got under there? The robber says as he lunges his arms forward past you. His whole shoulder is now in front of you. Grab his neck and pull him back. On nuts. Uh uh you know what? I'm gonna take a water break right now, and you can find the riveting results after. Yeah. Yeah. So, how are you guys doing? I'm doing good. You guys out there doing good? I'll take your silence as a yes. Let me just catch my speaking voice. All right. If you hear some noise that sounds weird, it's just my nails. Or yeah. Have you guys seen the movie Soylent Green? If you have not, then it's a pretty good watch. I like it more than I did Logan's Run. Yeah. I think it has Charleston Heston. It's a kind of thriller mystery type of deal. It's a good movie. If you ever had the chance, then check it out. Did I tell you I was watching Invincible and that's why I was up until 2? I recommend it if you have nothing else to watch, or if you're looking for something good to watch. Uh, Give me like 30 seconds, and we'll pick up this story. Ah, no, I'm fine. Don't worry. All right. I do believe that we are ready to continue. Everyone ready? All right. Okay. Okay. A success. You hurl your body forward, twist your arm around the robber's neck before locking it up. You use your feet and kick the counter to push yourself and the robber away from it. He struggles hard to break free from your grasp. You hold him as he still pulls his pistol up to your face, and bang! The shot barely misses your head by an inch. The two of you wrestle for control of the gun before Al suddenly pops up with the shotgun. You hear the racking of the pump action, and the robber instantly freezes. The robber quickly releases his pistol, letting it clatter on the ground as you pull him up as you pull him back and wrap your fingers around his neck even tighter with Al holding him at gunpoint. Oh, thanks for the help, Mr. Kitts, he says. Leave him with Al. Leave him to settle things with Al. You tighten your lock around the robber's neck. He grunts and lets his gun drop to the ground. Look at Al and nod, and he nods back. Move, and I'll blow your dick off, Al says, lowering his shotgun to the waist level. You let the man go as he stands there, hands in the air, squirming. You give Al a smile and a nod, and he responds in kind as you grab your groceries. It's on the house, Mr. Kitts. It's on the house, Mr. Kitts, he says, still pointing a shotgun at the robber. Give Al a grateful smile before walking out of the store nonchalantly, as if nothing had happened, leaving the robber's fate in Al's hands. Outside the store. Outside the grocery store without a car, you decide to walk back home on foot. On your way home, you walk past the same spot where you saw the car that you didn't try to steal. Oddly enough, the car is gone. You look around the neighborhood and find no sign of the car. You shrug and keep walking. Through the streets of urban Manhattan, you walk home with the grocery bag under your arm, a leather jacket, and looking all suspicious. All you need now is well oiled hair, an Italian accent, a gun tucked beneath your jacket, maybe an overcoat and a fedora, and an FBI watching you from across the street. Wait a minute. You look across the street and your heart jumps when you see that there's a conspicuous bakery delivery van. You've watched enough movies to know that's probably an FBI van. You know that the only bakery around here is Edwin's place, the Golden Grain Bakery. The Golden Grain Bakery doesn't use delivery vans, they use scooters. And so, as a test, try walking faster. Look back and the van is still there, unmoving. Finally arrive at the corner of the block, so you turn your corner. So you turn the corner and take the path to the front of your apartment building. Hastily pull out your keys and open the door and walk inside. Hang your front door keys on the key hanger and walk up the stairs to your room. Whew. Really thought you were gonna get picked up there. Put the groceries on the kitchen table and take off your jacket before throwing it onto the couch. Just remember that you now have a day off before your next job. Think about what you could do today. Considering you just robbed a place, you know it's best to lay low and not do anything with the money until the heat dies down. Standard procedure for every criminal. Or you could go clubbing. Oh wait, it's 10 in the morning. You could go to Mouse's place, the Golden Grain Bakery. It's not too far from here. Go to the Golden Grain Bakery, taking the bus. Very well. You pick your jacket up and put it on again. Walk out the door, down the stairs, and out of the building. This time you walk the other way to the bus station, and then you sit there, waiting for the bus to arrive. You look to your left and see the bus approaching. Stand up and wait for the doors to open. Gust of air comes rushing out of the doors as the doors open up, and in you go after waiting for a couple of people to get out. Inside the bus, you pay the fare and find an empty seat. You sit down and wait for your destination. As you ride the bus, you keep wondering about the van when you went home. You hope to never see it again. After a few minutes, the bus arrived at your destination. You get off and walk around to the corner of the Golden Grain Bakery. Just as you turn the corner, you see a van at the edge of your vision. Same delivery van that was following you earlier. Shit. Zzz. Your phone vibrates inside your pocket. Pull it out. It's Edwin. You pick it up and all you hear is, "Hits, wherever you are, stay there. And whatever you do, don't go to the Golden Bakery. I think the cops are looking for you." "Yeah, where are you? Are you okay?" "No, and that's why I called you. My friend asked me whether or not there was another bakery that just opened up. Because there's another delivery van in front of our bakery and it's not ours. I should probably go back to the safe house." "So, what do I do?" you ask. No, I can't be sure we're safe right now. Where are you? Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm right around the corner from your store." Tell him. "Oh, bollocks. This is bad." "All right. First of all, I need you to get out of there. It isn't safe." Just then, the delivery van swerves around the corner and stops in front of you. Shit.
side door slides open and two people come jumping out. One of them, a woman with an FBI vest, and the other man in a suit with a holstered gun. Points the gun at you, and so does the woman. You turn around and see two men in suits running towards you with their guns pointed at you. Then turn back to look at the man and woman.
Kids, put your hands in the air and get down on the ground.
The man says, still pointing his gun at you.
Oh shit.
Run! Quickly turn to the left and run across the street. Dash past the FBI agents as they try and fail to tackle you. You hear cars honking as you rush into traffic. You suddenly realize that not getting hit will be a challenge. Hopefully, you're fast enough to evade the oncoming cars. Whew. Thank God. You dash into traffic and everything slows down for you. The car swerves past you as you dash forward, then stop to let a car pass before continuing the dash forward. Within seconds, you find yourself on the other side of the street. You turn around and see the FBI agents cursing and aiming at you. If you're gonna lose them, you're gonna have to keep running. You run into a nearby alleyway and turn a corner after corner, confusing both yourself and anyone chasing you. Eventually, you find yourself back on the street, far away from the scene. You have no clue where you are, but at least no one's chasing you. You check your phone and see you're lucky, and see where you are. Luckily enough, you're near Mouse's safe house, but perhaps you shouldn't call them. Considering the FBI are out to get you, they probably tapped your phone. Decide to drop your phone into a nearby garbage bin, paying little attention to it. You knew you were going to have to do something like this someday. You can only hope that Mouse knows to go back to his safe house. You walk down the street, eyes carefully looking around. You can see Mouse's safe house far in the distance. Looking around you, you don't see suspicious vans or anyone else out in front. There's only a few parked cars. You walk up to the front door. As you enter the first door of the apartment, you can see the landlady talking to two people, both in suits. The landlady spots you and quickly points to you. That's him! That's Edwin's friend! Goddamn snitch. She shouts.
Don't move,
FBI.
don't move, FBI.
Two people in suits pull out their pistols and train them on you. Shit. Raise my hands. Sign defeat and raise your hands in the air. All of a sudden, a shroud of darkness covers your vision, blinding you as hands grab all of your limbs. You try to wrestle free until you discover that your hands are being tied up and your chest feels heavy, as if being sat on. On the ground, handcuffed and with a sack covering your head. The only thing missing now are noise canceling headphones and a ticket to Guantanamo Bay.
Quick, get him in the.
And just then, something covers your ears. All you can hear are your own thoughts. The precinct. Next thing you know, your hands are cuffed behind your back. You can't hear anything because there are noise canceling headphones covering your ears. And you can't see anything because there's a sack over your head. Suddenly, you feel the van. Your body is being grabbed all over, up, down, left, right, BBA. You're being dragged somewhere you can't see. You hear mumbling and see tiny shafts of light rippling from the weaves of the burlap sack over your head. The next thing you know, they sit you down on a cold, hard chair. Your hands are still handcuffed, but they unlock them. You can slowly feel the relief. And you can slowly feel the relief of being able to move your wrists again. You release a sigh as you pull your hands forward, massaging your cold wrists. Then they cuff you again. This time in front of you, you can feel the cold metal table on your bare skin. Try and move your hands, but the only thing you hear is the rattle of metal on the table as they pull off your headphones. You can't move your arms very well, then suddenly, they finally take the sack off your head. It's so bright. You squint your eyes as the bright fluorescent light burns them, trying to raise your hands to shield them, only to realize that they're being held down to the table by the cops. Look in front of you and see a man in a dark blue suit with a badge and a badge and a well groomed dark brown hair. You don't seem to recall him being one of the ones who arrested you. Well, you're pretty screwed now, ain't ya? He says, tapping his fingers on the metal pole. Look, I don't know what you did, but whatever it is, it must be in some serious stuff if you got them after you. He continues, referring to the FBI. If I were you, I wouldn't bother calling for a lawyer, because whatever they have on you, it seems pretty solid. So just tell them what they want to hear for your own sakes. And just then, the door behind him opens and in steps a man in a suit, wearing glasses and carrying a briefcase. The same man who apprehended you. Behind him is the woman in the FBI vest.
Thank you for the interrogation room, Sergeant.
Ah, nuts. Sorry. Thank you for the interrogation room, Sergeant. We'd like to use it in privacy now. The woman says as she holds the door open. The sergeant looks at you, then at the FBI agents, then back at you. He stands up and walks out before the woman closes the door behind him. The man in a suit and glasses sits down in front of you, puts the briefcase down on the table and sets it aside. For now. He looks up at you.
You are screwed.
Opens up the briefcase, pulls out a file and gently drops it on the table.
So, kid's no last name, 25 years old, and already knee deep in a quicksand of trouble you can't crawl out of. Some life you have there,
Says. Ask for or keep quiet. The woman walks over to the man's side and stares at you before saying, We've been trying to gain intelligence on a group of well organized criminals that's been active in the Northeastern Territory. We believe that you've recently been in contact with one of the former members of that crew.
that person is currently the leader of a group of people that recently robbed a Square C convenience store at a gas station and got away with a huge amount of money. And by recently, I mean last night. Ring any bells?
He was a former member of a crew that robbed 3 armored cars from 3 different states and got away with more than $500,000 in one night. He was in the most dangerous crews in the Northeastern Territory.
Now, what I want from you is simple testimony, information, anything you can tell me about the crew you were with last night, specifically the leader.
He picks up the file which reads Caden Joy across the front, and opens it, then throws a picture onto the table. Man, the picture is of a man around his mid-30s with short, suave blonde hair that's a slight mess. Hard?
Probably don't know what he looks like, which, if so, means he's smart. I doubt you know his names. Maybe you recognize one of his colleagues, his son,
He says, and he throws down another photo. This time it's a very young brown haired man, maybe around 18 years old. Shoddy?
Timothy Joy. Good with shotguns. Or how about another one of the newer members of the crew before you came along? Patricia Callingway. Good with all sorts of tools, especially a saw.
He throws down another picture, one of a professional woman in her early 20s with short brown hair and a harsh but elegant face. Chains?
Also the owner of a handheld circular saw, specifically the one we found burnt to a crisp in the back of an also burnt car in the middle of a parking lot.
I already found your getaway vehicle.
Maybe you don't know any of them. I doubt you do, but anything helps. Anything you might know about them, where the others are, who they are, anything. It'll help you just as much as it helps us. Well, maybe not as much, but we'll do what we can to lower your sentence.
The man says as he pushes the 3 pictures at you across the table. Right now, they know more than you do. You don't even know their names, let alone their faces. But you were with them last night. These people have evidence that proves that. You could just tell them what you know, or keep quiet. I ain't no snitch. Keep my mouth shut. After a few seconds of silence, the man gives you a smirk.
All right, you want to play it safe. That's all right, I appreciate that. I just want you to acknowledge what I'm about to say,
The man says, leaning back into his chair.
we have enough evidence to take you to court. We have a gun, we have a burnt up car in the middle of a parking lot, the same car that was described as fleeing the scene of the crime. Shit, they have everything on you now. They can prove that you were there, but maybe that's not all they know. Maybe you can just keep quiet and hope for the best. Look down, thinking about what to do and what's gonna happen to you. The woman speaks up. All of that is enough to put you in jail. We could charge you for being a part of a conspiracy along the Archangel case. And that would be a long sentence for you. Look, if you were nice about this whole shindig, maybe I would have helped you. But you're being kind of dicks about the whole thing. I'm not very much one for being threatened, so I gotta say nah, man. Man leans in and says, I could go on unless you stop me with something I might want to hear. Let him continue. No, alright, how about I give you something else you might want to hear? The man says as he goes back behind the briefcase, pulls out another stack of photographs, puts them on the table, and pushes them over to you. You take a look at the top picture, and it seems to be from CCTV footage. In the picture, a fit bodied male wearing a black ski mask and a jacket, carrying a pistol. It's you! Hey, you're on TV! Wait, how could they have gotten the CCTV footage? Mouse was supposed to hack into the cameras. The woman explains. That footage was found heavily encrypted on the hard drive in the back room. Thankfully, we were able to crack it. Mouse could sure use more training in his hacking skills. The man leans forward with a smirk and says, Tell me that you don't know. I dare you. Stay quiet. For a brief moment, you find yourself in a staring costume with the man. Your brown eyes versus the man's steely light brown eyes. He breaks the silence, but doesn't break his stare, saying, No, your eyes are starting to turn red. You blink a few times. Ha! He says back. He sits back and giggles. I win. The woman coughs, murmuring, The gun. Oh, right, the firearm. Shit. With a smile on his face, the man goes through the briefcase again and pulls out an M9 Beretta pistol inside a transparent plastic bag. He drops it onto the table and the gun clanks on the metal surface as it slides over to you, close enough for you to reach out and grab it. M9 Beretta. Serial number was scratched off, but again, those forensic boys love a challenge. And in the end, we found that the gun was registered to the one and only Caden Joy. The man leans forward with a smile. The woman walks up to him and says, We found the gun in your apartment. How did Caden's pistol end up there? The man stares at you with a blank, almost detached face. Go ahead. Tell me this isn't yours. The man then gives you a smile, a slightly chilling one. Remains silent. You want to stay quiet, he says, leaning back, arms crossed. After a few seconds of silence, the man gives you a smirk and says, All right, you want to play it safe? It's all right, I appreciate that. I just want you to acknowledge what I'm about to say. The man leans back in his chair and says, We found this gun inside your apartment, inside the cupboard. That means you must have been using it recently for what? Recently. For what? Robbing a store in the middle of the night at the closing time.
The FBI lady steps forward and says, We also found your handprint on the handle. That's right. Not a fingerprint, a whole handprint.
Must have meant you handled the gun before. Maybe you held it last night.
Remains silent.
I'm sorry. Are you a mute? Because you haven't said a single word since we brought you in here. That's rather annoying me.
The man says. After a few seconds of silence, the man seems to get more impatient than he was before.
All right, that's it. You're wasting enough time as it is. Won't confess? We already have enough evidence to take you to court anyway,
he says, and he stands up from his chair, and the woman walks over to him. As the man stands up and starts cleaning the table, putting everything back into the briefcase before closing it, the woman stops him and whispers in his ear. You can barely hear her say, Rebel, what about the other archangels? Michael and Gabriel. You're confused by the question. Nuts. Revel stops and looks at you before saying,
One more thing. Was Caden's voice disordered, like he was using some sort of electronic device to mask his voice?
Confused by that question, and remembering back, Caden sounded perfectly normal. Look back at Revel with a confused expression.
I'm guessing not.
Revel looks back to the woman.
And we still got more to go. Told you so.
He says as he walks down to the door and opens it, waiting for the woman to exit first. One down, six to go, she says as she walks out, followed by Revel, who closes the door behind them.
Well, you're screwed.
5 minutes later. After about five, all right, well, I think this might be the last page we'll do for today because I want to leave it at a good stopping point and it seems pretty appropriate. After about 5 minutes of waiting, the door opens again, and this time it's the police sergeant from back before. Walks behind you and puts a sack over your head, blocking your vision again. Come on, get up! He pulls you out of the chair. He lets out a sigh. Come on, you're going away for a long time, he says. Body's pulled upward out of the chair and pushed somewhere else. Out of the room, most likely. It's only a brief walk, and then you're released from any grasp. Your vision returns when they pull the sack off your head. You see a concrete wall and surrounding it, it's bars. It's a cell. You turn around and see the sergeant on the other side of the bar. I'll be back with your phone call, he says as he walks away into the darkness. He leaves you standing there with the cuffs still on you. You sit down on the bench in your holding cell and wait. All right. Yeah, that's a good stopping point. So we'll stop there for today. So, are you guys enjoying this one at all, or uh, do you prefer the other one, or how is it for you guys? I want to know because, like, if you guys aren't digging it, then you know, I don't know. Maybe I'll change or something. I'm just checking in with you guys. Any comments? Yeah. Oh, it's good so far. All right, I can dig it then, man. So we'll pick this up as usual next Monday. Yes, I don't know why I laughed at that one. Sorry. But either way, yeah, this one I like a lot. I've played it a number of times. A lot. Came out in 2019. I don't know the status on the second part, but I know the second one wanted to. Well, I shouldn't. I should probably say nothing about it because otherwise it might be. Yeah, I'm not. I won't say anything on it. I'll let you guys. Well, I guess listen, and if you guys want to, read it for yourselves and that whole shindig. As usual, I want to thank you guys for coming and dropping by. It's always great to have somebody to talk to, so I know I'm not going crazy and just imagining this. So I hope you guys have a great day. Stay frosty, and I'll see you on the other side of the day. Oh yeah, back. Oh yeah, tomorrow's schedule for the week. Tuesday 2 o'clock. Wait, no, shoot. Tuesday 8 o'clock. That's right. I have my thing. I have a lab, so yeah. Sorry. Wednesday 2 o'clock. Thursday 2 o'clock. Friday possibly nighttime. Uh, Saturday I also want to do two, and Sunday I think two or later. All right, cool. So I hope I get to see you guys again tomorrow. What are we gonna do? Uh, Maybe we'll get started on Advance Wars 2, or we'll keep going with Final Fantasy Tactics. One of the two. All right. All right. So stay frosty, and I'll see you on the other side of the day, mis amigos. Have a good one.